What if everything you've been taught about life, death, and consciousness is only a fraction of the truth? What if the deepest secrets of existence, the very nature of your soul and the reality around you, have been hidden in plain sight, deliberately kept from you? There's knowledge that few dare to explore, whispers that some are too afraid to acknowledge, and truths that can't be explained with simple logic. What if the answers to your most profound questions have always been just beyond your reach? In this journey, we will unlock doors that most people never even knew existed. We will explore the hidden dimensions of your mind, the dark corners of consciousness that are more than just theoretical. Together, we will question the very foundation of reality, diving into forbidden knowledge that reveals why you may be living in cycles, why you feel the pull of past lives, and how your soul may be preparing for its final awakening. There's so much more going on than meets the eye. And soon, you'll begin to understand why no one talks about this, and how this secret could change everything. Stay with me. The truth is about to unfold. There's a quiet hum inside you, a resonance that's often ignored or dismissed as coincidence. But what if those subtle impressions, the feelings that seem out of place, the déjà vu moments, the sense of familiarity with certain people or places, are something much deeper? Imagine if your memories were not just confined to this life, but were embedded within you like echoes from past worlds. The idea that our very cells might carry the imprints of lives we've lived is not as fantastical as it sounds. What if you could tap into these ancient memories, tucked away in the strands of your DNA, waiting for the right moment to surface? Recent studies in neuroscience have shown that our memories are more than just mental constructs. They are encoded in the very fabric of our biology. The brain is capable of retaining far more information than we ever give it credit for. But could this knowledge be passed down, not only from our parents, but from souls that came before us? Quantum biology suggests that even the subatomic particles that make up our cells might store information, not just about our personal history, but about collective experiences spanning generations. Could this be the key to understanding the inexplicable sensations of past life memories? Many spiritual traditions speak of reincarnation, a cycle of birth and rebirth that weaves through lifetimes. But here's the shocking part. What if it's not just your soul that reincarnates? What if your very physical being carries the traces of your past selves? In the world of quantum physics, time is fluid, not linear. Could this explain why certain events in your life seem to trigger the echoes of someone you once were? Could your DNA, like a vast hidden archive, store these ancient fragments, not as simple memories, but as living experiences that pulse through your veins? If this idea holds any truth, it would mean that we are not simply shaped by our current environment, but by a much broader, more intricate web of existence. Your fears, your desires, even your talents may not be entirely yours. Perhaps they've been passed down, not just through generations of your family, but from lives you've lived, from experiences that have seeped into your very essence. Have you ever wondered why some of your fears feel ancient, or why a talent you've never practiced comes so easily to you? Could it be that these aren't just your experiences, but fragments of someone who once lived before you? And yet, what's most mysterious is this. If your past selves are indeed stored within your DNA, what happens when those memories begin to resurface? Could they be the key to unlocking your soul's next evolution, guiding you toward the end of one cycle and the beginning of another? The more you connect with these echoes, the clearer the path ahead might become. But are you ready to face them? To remember what you were, who you were, and what it all means for your present and future? As you delve deeper into these memories, you might start to sense a pull, a recognition that something is about to unfold, something that ties together all your lives into one. But is this just the beginning of a revelation, or are you nearing the moment where you must confront the deepest secret hidden within your very cells? The true nature of this knowledge is waiting to be uncovered. But what will it mean for you when you finally remember? Have you ever felt trapped in a pattern, as though history is repeating itself right in front of you? A relationship that seems to follow the same script? Or a situation where the outcome always ends the same, no matter what you do? It's as if the universe is trying to tell you something, but you can't quite decipher the message. Could it be that you're not just experiencing coincidences? What if these repeating patterns are more than mere chance? Could they be the remnants of past lives trying to break through? Or perhaps even the cosmic blueprint of your soul's journey? The subconscious mind is a powerful force, shaping our perceptions and actions in ways we don't always understand. It's capable of locking us into repetitive loops, as if it's trying to resolve unresolved issues from the past. But what if these loops aren't just confined to your current life? According to some spiritual teachings, and even the latest in quantum science, time is not linear. Everything that has ever happened or will happen could exist simultaneously. Could these repeating patterns be the result of unresolved energies from previous lifetimes, spilling over into this one, guiding you to close those chapters? Think of it like an old book where certain pages are dog-eared and worn, revisited again and again. What if your soul, much like a reader of that book, keeps opening to the same pages until the story finally reaches its conclusion? Psychologists speak of inner conflicts. But what if these conflicts aren't just psychological? Could they be echoes of ancient unresolved desires, grudges, or lessons that haven't been learned from previous cycles of existence? The fact that these patterns persist, no matter how much you try to change them, could be the universe's subtle way of forcing you to confront the unfinished business of your past lives. When you begin to notice these patterns, it can feel like you're stuck in an endless loop, running in circles. Yet there's an eerie feeling that this repetition has purpose, a reason you can't yet grasp. Your mind may try to rationalize it, blaming fate or chance or even bad luck. But deep down, something inside you knows that this isn't just coincidence. The universe isn't cruel. It's pushing you to evolve. These cycles are calling you, asking you to pay attention, to learn, to release what no longer serves you. But what happens when you can no longer ignore them? What if you finally understand the message and are ready to break free? Could it be that these loops aren't just something to escape from, but are the very key to unlocking the end of your soul's current cycle? What if breaking free from them doesn't mean running away, but embracing what they are trying to teach you? The resolution of these repeating patterns could be the turning point you've been waiting for. But here's the mystery. What will it take to truly break free? Is there a moment when everything clicks, when you finally understand that the key to freedom has always been hidden in plain sight? And what if, by confronting these repeating loops, you unlock something even greater, a deeper understanding of your soul's true purpose? What if, in the process of resolving these patterns, you are actually closing a chapter of your cosmic journey? The question remains, are you ready to face these loops, to let go of what they're holding you to, and embrace what lies beyond? The answer might be closer than you think, but only if you're willing to look. There comes a time in every soul's journey when the fire that once burned brightly begins to flicker. It's not a physical exhaustion, but a deep, unexplainable weariness, a subtle fatigue that seeps into the very core of your being. Have you ever felt it? That longing for rest, not from the world, but from the endless cycle of existence. Perhaps you've reached a point where life no longer feels like it's full of new beginnings, but rather a series of repetitive tasks that you no longer find meaningful. It's as if your soul is simply tired. In the study of energy, we are told that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It only transforms. Could this principle apply to your soul as well? If energy is infinite, then why does your spirit feel so drained? As we age, our bodies become weary, but the soul, too, can become exhausted after countless cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. Spiritual traditions speak of the moment when a soul reaches the end of its journey, when it's finally ready to transcend the physical realm. But what if that weariness is a sign that your soul is preparing for something far greater? Something beyond this world? Beyond this body? The quantum field suggests that everything is interconnected, that everything vibrates at certain frequencies. Perhaps your soul, too, has its own frequency, one that fluctuates and shifts with each cycle. Could the sense of fatigue you feel now be the result of this frequency slowing down, nearing the end of its resonance in this particular form? It's a paradox. The more we evolve, the more we learn, the more we expand, the closer we come to the moment when we must let go of everything we've known. This moment of soul fatigue could be the precursor to a profound transformation. But are you ready for it? Are you prepared to release the very essence of who you believe yourself to be? This weariness is not a sign of failure, but of culmination. Just like the Earth's seasons, there is a natural rhythm to our existence. After every spring, there must be a winter. But what if this weariness is more than just the natural cycle of life? Could it be the universe's way of telling you that the time is near for you to transcend, to step out of the cycle entirely? There is something deeply spiritual about the idea of resting, of returning to the source, shedding the weight of all previous forms, and allowing yourself to become one with the infinite. Yet, as this exhaustion sets in, something within you may begin to stir. It could be a quiet knowing, a whisper deep within your consciousness that your soul is preparing for its final, grand awakening. The very thing that seems to drag you down might, in truth, be the catalyst for your greatest transformation. But before that can happen, you must face one undeniable question. Are you ready to shed everything that no longer serves you? To release the life you have lived, knowing that something far more expansive awaits? It's in this weariness, in this quiet surrender, that a door may open. A door leading not to the end, but to the beginning of something completely new. Could this be the final moment of your journey? And if so, are you prepared to step into the unknown, to let go of all that you've known? Or will the fatigue you feel keep you grounded, tethered to the past just a little while longer? The answer might lie hidden in the stillness, but only if you listen closely enough to hear it. Have you ever found yourself knowing something, a fact, a skill, or a piece of wisdom that you could never have learned in this life? It's as if a deep knowing rises from within you, seemingly out of nowhere. You've never studied it, yet there it is, a truth you can't explain. This isn't just intuition or a lucky guess. It's as if the knowledge itself was already there, buried beneath the surface of your consciousness. What if this knowledge doesn't belong to this lifetime at all? What if it's an inheritance from your soul's past lives, stored deep in the recesses of your being, waiting for the right moment to emerge? In neuroscience, there's a growing understanding of how the brain can absorb, store, and access massive amounts of information. But what if there's more to this than mere biology? What if, beyond the confines of the brain, your consciousness is capable of tapping into a much larger reservoir of knowledge, one that stretches across the boundaries of time and space? Could the wisdom you hold be not just yours, but a gift from the many lives you've lived, an imprint left by the souls you once were, each one contributing a fragment of knowledge to your current self? Many ancient spiritual teachings speak of the Akashic Records, a vast, invisible library that holds the records of all lives and experiences throughout time. These records are said to contain the wisdom of every soul that has ever lived, a treasure trove of knowledge available to those who know how to access it. But what if these records aren't just accessible to mystics or enlightened beings, but to you right now? What if this unexplained knowledge is your soul reaching into these records, bringing forward the wisdom of lifetimes past, preparing you for something that lies ahead? Are you ready to tap into this hidden resource, or have you been living in the dark about its true potential? Perhaps the reason certain pieces of knowledge feel so familiar, so natural to you, is because they've always been a part of you. These insights, these flashes of understanding, could be the echoes of lives long gone, whispering their secrets into your mind. In these fleeting moments, you might be accessing the wisdom of your own soul's evolution, lessons you've learned over countless lifetimes, now resurfacing at just the right time. But why? What is the purpose of this knowledge surfacing now? Is it preparing you for something monumental, a shift in consciousness, or a final lesson that must be learned? As this knowledge begins to rise to the surface, you may find yourself questioning your place in the grand scheme of things. If you've lived before, if your soul has experienced the vastness of time, then who are you really? What are you meant to accomplish in this life that requires the accumulated wisdom of 1,000 journeys? The answers may not come easily, but one thing is certain. This knowledge is not simply for personal gain. It's the wisdom of the universe itself, carried through your soul's journey, waiting for the moment when it can be used for something greater than you could ever imagine. But here's the real mystery. What if this knowledge you've inherited is leading you towards something far beyond your current understanding? Something so transformative that it could change the course of your entire life, and perhaps even the course of your soul's evolution. Are you ready to embrace the hidden wisdom within you, or will you continue to ignore the secrets that are begging to be uncovered? The truth is far deeper than you think, and it's waiting for you to discover it. Have you ever experienced moments when reality itself seemed to bend, as if the fabric of time and space was temporarily torn? Time slows down, and suddenly, the world around you feels less solid, more fluid, as though the very laws of nature are not as fixed as they once seemed. These moments can leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Could these fleeting glimpses be mere tricks of the mind? Or, as some spiritual teachings suggest, could they be moments of clarity when you're briefly able to perceive beyond the veil of the physical world? In quantum physics, the concept of non-locality suggests that particles can exist in multiple places at once, defying our conventional understanding of time and space. Could this principle apply to consciousness as well? What if, in moments of heightened awareness, your perception is able to break through the boundaries of time, allowing you to see a reality that exists beyond the immediate one? This is not just theory. Many people report experiencing profound shifts in perception, where the separation between past, present, and future no longer seems as distinct. What if these shifts are not just random, but are the soul's way of waking you up to the greater truth of existence? When you experience these altered states of perception, you might sense something greater lurking just out of reach, something that you're not fully able to grasp, but that calls to you from a deeper part of your consciousness. Some believe that this is the soul beginning to remember its true nature, awakening to the fact that this life is just one chapter in an infinite journey. But if that's true, then what lies beyond the veil that you can only glimpse for a moment? What is waiting for you on the other side of this shift in perception? Could it be that the more you experience these moments, the closer you come to understanding something fundamental about your soul's purpose? You may find that these moments of clarity are becoming more frequent, more intense. They're like doorways that appear unexpectedly, offering you a peek into another dimension of reality. But what happens when you begin to step through these doorways more fully? Are you ready to confront what lies beyond the veil, not just the potential of your future, but the profound wisdom of your past lives, your soul's eternal journey? Could these shifts in perception be leading you to the final understanding of why you are here, why you've lived, and what you are meant to accomplish? This journey beyond the veil isn't without its risks, though. The deeper you venture into these altered states of consciousness, the more the world around you begins to lose its sense of solidity. The familiar boundaries of space and time may feel less reliable, and you might find yourself questioning everything you've ever known. But is this uncertainty a sign that you're on the right path? Could it be that true awakening requires letting go of everything you once believed was real, in order to make space for something far more expansive? And just when you think you've come to understand the nature of reality, the true mystery remains. There is always more to uncover. What if your perception is merely the beginning of a deeper, more profound awakening? Could it be that this glimpse beyond the veil is a signal that you're on the brink of something far more transformative? The questions linger, but the answers lie just beyond the horizon, waiting to be discovered when you least expect it. Have you ever noticed how certain events in your life seem to align perfectly, as if the universe itself is conspiring to send you a message? A chance meeting, a phone call at just the right moment, or a sudden realization that seems to appear out of nowhere. These moments of synchronicity aren't just coincidences. What if they are the universe's way of giving you a nudge, guiding you towards something important, something you're meant to see? Could the synchronicities in your life be a sign that you're reaching the final stages of your soul's cycle, and the universe is preparing you for a transformation? Synchronicity, as Carl Jung once suggested, is not random. It is meaningful. The patterns that emerge in your life are often tied to a deeper, invisible connection between you and the universe itself. In the quantum field, everything is interconnected, vibrating in harmony, and sometimes these hidden threads align in a way that seems almost magical. When these moments occur, it's as if the universe is momentarily revealing the intricate web of reality, showing you that everything is connected. But why does this happen now, at this point in your journey? Is there a purpose behind the synchronicities you're experiencing, something much larger than you can currently comprehend? Could it be that these synchronized events are the universe's way of bringing you closer to the end of your current cycle? As you near a significant threshold, the universe may begin to orchestrate these alignments to guide you toward the final piece of your soul's puzzle. Each synchronicity may hold a clue, a small signpost that points toward the next chapter in your journey. What if these seemingly random events are the key to unlocking your soul's next phase? What if they are not random at all, but carefully placed markers to guide you through the last stages of your transformation? The more you begin to pay attention to these moments, the more you may realize how intricately connected you are to the flow of the universe. Every choice, every step, every moment seems to be part of a larger plan that you can only glimpse in fragments. But as these synchronicities increase in frequency, you might begin to feel a sense of urgency, a knowing that something is about to happen, something that will change everything. The question then becomes, are you prepared for what comes next? Can you trust the signs the universe is giving you, even if they don't make complete sense yet? There's an undeniable feeling that these moments aren't simply about coincidence. They feel like reminders that you're on the right path, that the universe is urging you toward a greater understanding. But why now? What does it mean when synchronicity intensifies, when the universe seems to be pushing you in a particular direction? Perhaps the universe is showing you that there are no accidents, that every event, every connection, every choice has led you to this very moment. But what is it preparing you for? What lies just ahead, waiting for you to step into? As you continue to follow the trail of synchronicities, one question remains. What is the final lesson the universe is trying to impart to you? And, when the final sign comes, will you be ready to embrace it? The mysteries of the universe are vast, and your journey is far from over. But the signs are all around you, waiting to be noticed. The real question is, will you see them before it's too late? Have you ever experienced an immediate, undeniable connection with someone, as though you've known them for lifetimes, even if you've just met? A love so deep, so intense, that it feels like it transcends time itself? There's a magnetic pull, an emotional bond that seems far too strong to be born of mere chance. But what if this feeling is not just a deep connection in this life, but a thread that ties you to past lifetimes, drawing you to those you've loved before? Could love, in its most powerful form, be a doorway to a deeper understanding of your soul's journey. The concept of soulmates has been whispered about in spiritual traditions for centuries, a connection so profound that it feels destined, eternal. But beyond the romantic ideal, could these soul bonds be reminders of past lives, bringing you back together with those whose paths have crossed yours repeatedly across time? Some researchers in the fields of psychology and consciousness suggest that our deepest connections with others are often rooted in experiences that predate our current existence. In fact, the emotional pull you feel towards certain individuals might not just be from your current life, but a reflection of a soul-level connection that has endured through multiple lifetimes. Could love, then, be the key to unlocking the mystery of your soul's past? The emotions you feel, the pull of connection, may not simply be happenstance. They could be remnants of souls you've encountered before, loves that have been rekindled across the ages. Imagine that the people you are drawn to are not random, but rather they are familiar figures from your soul's history, waiting for you to remember the bond that once existed between you. These relationships are often intense, challenging, and transformative, not merely by accident, but by design. But if love is such a powerful connection to your past lives, what does it reveal about your soul's ultimate purpose? As you delve deeper into these relationships, you might begin to notice patterns, emotional dynamics that repeat, lessons that seem to echo from one connection to the next. These patterns are more than just psychological, more than just the byproducts of your upbringing. They are the traces of your soul's journey, unresolved business from previous lifetimes that is begging to be addressed. Perhaps these emotional pulls are meant to guide you toward closure, or perhaps they are meant to show you that the love you feel is not just for this moment, but is part of a much larger, ongoing story. What happens when you finally recognize that the love you are experiencing has transcended time itself? But even as you grow aware of these deeper connections, a question lingers. If love is truly the gateway to your past lives, why does it feel so painful at times? Why do these connections stir up so much emotion, so much intensity? The answer might be that these soul connections are meant to push you toward growth, to challenge you, to release old wounds and patterns, to heal what has been broken over many lifetimes. Could it be that love is not just a bridge to the past, but also a catalyst for your soul's final transformation? As you begin to uncover the layers of these emotional bonds, you may realize that each relationship is a key that unlocks the door to your soul's deepest truths. But what happens when you have the chance to truly understand what these connections mean? What if the love you feel is not just a reflection of the past, but the very force that will guide you toward the end of your cycle, towards the final chapter of your soul's journey? Are you ready to embrace this love for what it truly is, a gateway to a deeper awakening? Or will you turn away from the pull that has always been there, waiting for you to recognize it? There are moments when you hear a voice within you, a quiet, calming presence that seems to offer guidance, yet feels unlike any thought you've ever had. It's not a voice from the outside world. It comes from deep within, speaking directly to your soul. Have you ever listened to this voice? It might sound like your own thoughts, but there's something different about it, something unmistakably wise. It may whisper truths, guiding you toward decisions that feel incredibly right, even if they defy logic or reason. But what if this voice is not just your subconscious, but the voice of your higher self, trying to guide you toward your soul's ultimate purpose? Throughout history, mystics and spiritual teachers have spoken of a higher consciousness, a divine aspect of ourselves that remains separate from the egoic mind. This higher self is often considered to be our truest essence, the part of us that understands the greater plan for our soul's journey. But as we navigate through life, that voice often becomes muffled, drowned out by the noise of the world and the distractions of daily living. What if, as your soul nears the end of this cycle, that voice is beginning to grow louder, more insistent, urging you to listen and to remember what you were meant to do. Some neuroscientists suggest that our brains are capable of tapping into a kind of universal mind, a collective consciousness that is beyond the individual. But could this concept align with the spiritual idea of the higher self? When we experience moments of deep clarity, where everything falls into place, could it be that we are momentarily aligning with this higher consciousness? If so, what does it mean when the voice of your higher self begins to speak more clearly, more urgently? Could this be a sign that your soul is preparing for its next stage of evolution? A stage that requires full awareness and alignment with the deeper, divine truth of who you are? The more you tune into this voice, the more you may begin to feel a sense of guidance, as though you're being gently pushed towards something significant. It could be a change in your life, a realization about your path, or even a deeper understanding of the world around you. The higher self doesn't always offer easy answers, but it does offer clarity, a kind of truth that resonates deeply within your being. And as you move through this cycle, could it be that your higher self is preparing you for the final step in your journey, guiding you towards something far beyond your current understanding of reality? Yet there's an unsettling truth to consider. What if this voice, this inner guide, has been with you all along, but you've only just begun to hear it? Could it be that the more you approach the end of your cycle, the louder this voice becomes, urging you to wake up, to step fully into your power? The question arises, why is it speaking now, at this crucial moment? Is this simply the final awakening of your soul? Or is there something more significant on the horizon that requires your higher self's intervention? As you continue to listen, you may find that the voice of your higher self begins to reveal secrets, but also leaves more questions in its wake. What happens when you finally understand what it has been trying to tell you all this time? And what is waiting for you when you follow its guidance, fully trusting the path that it illuminates before you? The answers may be just out of reach, but the journey toward them promises to be unlike anything you've ever experienced before. Could the voice within be your greatest ally in this final phase of your soul's journey? The mystery remains, and the truth is closer than you think. Have you ever felt like you weren't entirely alone on your journey, as though invisible forces were quietly guiding your steps, even when you couldn't explain how? These forces aren't necessarily physical, yet their presence is undeniable. They might appear as a sudden flash of insight, a strong feeling of direction in moments of indecision, or even as dreams that carry profound meaning. What if these unseen forces aren't just figments of imagination, but actual cosmic entities waiting patiently to assist you in your soul's evolution? Could they be the guides and protectors of your soul, leading you to the final understanding of your purpose? Throughout various spiritual traditions, the idea of guides, angels, and spiritual entities is common. These beings, whether they are ancestors, angels, or otherworldly consciousnesses, are said to walk with us, offering support and wisdom as we navigate the complexities of life. But who are they really? Could they be connected to your previous selves, entities that have accompanied your soul through countless incarnations, waiting for the right moment to offer their assistance? And why do they seem to show up more strongly as you near the end of a life cycle? What is it that they want to reveal to you now, when you're on the precipice of something greater? From the lens of quantum physics, everything is interconnected. Particles communicate instantaneously across vast distances without time or space as limits. Could this same principle apply to these cosmic entities? If everything is energy, vibrating at different frequencies, is it possible that these entities exist just outside of our perception, waiting for the right frequency to align with yours? Perhaps they are always there, hovering just beyond the veil of the physical world, guiding you subtly, like silent whispers in the wind. But as your soul approaches the end of its current cycle, could their presence become stronger, more direct, urging you to awaken fully to your soul's destiny? In the depths of your consciousness, there may be moments when you feel an undeniable pull towards something unseen, as if a greater intelligence is at work, orchestrating events, leading you toward the resolution of your spiritual journey. These entities, these forces, may not reveal themselves in the way you expect, but their influence is profound. Sometimes their presence is felt as an intuitive knowing, other times as a sense of peace when making difficult decisions. But what happens when their guidance becomes more apparent, more urgent? Could it be that they are preparing you for the final step of your soul's journey, offering you the insight needed to transcend this life and move into a new realm of existence? But here's the unsettling question. What do these forces truly want from you? Are they guiding you out of love, or is there a deeper purpose to their presence? Perhaps they are not just here to offer comfort, but to push you towards something that you must accomplish before the end of this cycle. Are they leading you to the ultimate realization of your soul's nature? Or is there an even more profound revelation awaiting you, something that will change the way you see everything? The mystery deepens, and their intentions remain just out of reach, waiting for you to uncover them. As you continue to follow their subtle guidance, one thing becomes clear. These unseen forces are not here to harm you, but to help you step into a higher consciousness. But the question remains, when you finally embrace their presence, will you be ready to accept the truth they bring? What will you discover about your soul, your purpose, and the vastness of the universe itself once these cosmic entities reveal their final message to you? The journey continues, and the answers lie just ahead, waiting for you to discover them. Have you ever woken up from a dream so vivid, so intense, that it felt as if you had actually lived it? A dream where you experienced emotions so real, situations so familiar, that the lines between dream and reality blurred into oblivion? It's as if the past reaches out to touch you in the stillness of your sleep. But what if these dreams are not just products of your subconscious mind, but fragments of lives you've lived before? Could it be that your dreams are the doorway through which the echoes of past selves are trying to make their presence known, reminding you of unresolved lessons and experiences that are still influencing your waking life? Throughout history, dreams have been seen as a means of connecting with the divine, a realm where the veil between worlds is thinnest. Ancient cultures believed that dreams were the bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds, where the soul could travel freely, encountering aspects of the past, future, and beyond. What if this concept holds true, and the dreams you experience are more than just metaphors? What if they are the actual, unfiltered memories of past lives, unfolding as you sleep, urging you to remember your soul's journey? Could these dreams be the messages your soul is sending to you, trying to unlock the key to your final awakening? Science suggests that our subconscious mind is always at work, even when we're asleep, processing and organizing information. But if time is not linear, as quantum theory suggests, what if your dreams are actually glimpses of the many selves you've been, transcending time and space? These memories might be scattered, fragmented, but they are undeniably present, waiting for you to make sense of them. As you drift into sleep, could these dreams be drawing you closer to a realization that you are not just one person, but a soul who has lived many lives, each with its own lessons and unfinished business? You may notice that as you approach the end of your current cycle, these dreams become more intense, more frequent. Faces, places, and emotions from the past seem to materialize out of nowhere, stirring emotions that don't quite make sense. But what if these dreams are not just residual memories, but a final attempt by your soul to tie up loose ends, to resolve conflicts that have carried over from other lifetimes? Is it possible that these dreams are preparing you to face the truth about your soul's journey, revealing lessons that you must understand before you can transcend this life and move into the next? These dreams, often so overwhelming and rich in symbolism, may feel like warnings or invitations, guiding you toward a deeper understanding of your soul's path. They may seem unexplainable, but there is a hidden meaning beneath their surface. Could they be telling you that there are still unresolved issues, fears, or attachments from previous lives that need to be released? Or are they simply nudging you toward an inevitable transformation where the wisdom of the past will finally merge with the present, allowing you to break free from the cycle of rebirth? As you continue to experience these dreams, the question remains: are you truly ready to confront the past that haunts your sleep? What would happen if you allowed these dreams to guide you, to uncover the secrets they hold, and finally understand the deeper purpose of your soul's many lives? The path forward may be unclear, but one thing is certain. These dreams are not merely visions. They are the final pieces of the puzzle waiting for you to uncover. But will you recognize them before the veil of this life closes forever? Have you ever come across a symbol, a sign, or an image that seemed to speak to you on a level far deeper than words? Something that stirred something within you, a truth you couldn't explain, yet couldn't ignore? Maybe it was a shape, a color, or a pattern that just felt right. Could these symbols, these fleeting glimpses of meaning, be more than just random occurrences or coincidences? What if they are messages from your soul, carrying profound truths that your conscious mind isn't yet ready to fully understand? The question is, how long will you ignore these signs, and what will happen when you finally decode the hidden messages within them? Across countless spiritual traditions, symbols have been regarded as powerful conduits of wisdom, often representing truths that are too vast or too complex to be understood through simple language. Sacred geometry, astrology, numerology, all of these systems are built on the idea that the universe speaks to us through symbols, revealing patterns and connections that transcend the physical world. But what if these symbols are not just cosmic metaphors, but direct communication from your soul's higher consciousness? Could they be signaling that you are nearing the end of one life cycle and stepping into another, urging you to understand something vital before it's too late? You may have experienced moments when you've come across an image or symbol that seemed to resonate within your very being, a symbol you couldn't shake, even after it had passed. Perhaps you saw a specific animal or a recurring image in your dreams or waking life. Neuroscience would argue that the brain is wired to pick out patterns, seeking meaning in everything. But what if these symbols go beyond the mind's natural tendency to organize information? What if these symbols are ancient codes sent to you from the depths of your subconscious or even from past lives? What if they are encoded with the very answers you've been seeking about your soul's journey? As you begin to notice these signs, you may realize that they're becoming more frequent, more specific. They seem to guide you at the most crucial moments, leading you toward decisions, situations, or people that feel profoundly significant. Could these symbols be helping you navigate the final stages of your soul's cycle, offering clues that could unravel your deepest purpose and help you close the cycle of your current incarnation? And if so, what happens when you finally decipher them? Will you step into the next chapter of your soul's evolution? Or will you remain stuck, unable to interpret the messages that have been delivered to you? The deeper you delve into the language of symbols, the more you may begin to realize that the universe is not only sending messages to guide you, but to awaken you to a reality beyond the ordinary. These symbols may not just be about your past or present. They could be unlocking the future, giving you glimpses of the path you must walk in the final stages of your journey. But what happens when these symbols reveal something you're not ready to face? Could it be that they are pointing you toward the final lesson you need to learn, the last transformation your soul must undergo before it transcends this cycle? In the end, the question remains: what is it that these symbols are truly trying to tell you? Are they guiding you toward closure or opening doors to a greater reality that you haven't yet begun to understand? And if you follow them, what will you discover on the other side? The answers are hidden, but with every symbol, the pieces of the puzzle come closer to falling into place. Will you be the one to understand them before the moment passes? Or Will you remain unaware of the messages your soul is trying to communicate? The truth is waiting to be unlocked, but only if you're willing to look. Have you ever felt a shift inside of you, a subtle but undeniable recognition that something profound is about to happen, but you can't quite put it into words? It's as if your entire being is on the verge of something monumental, and yet the exact nature of it remains hidden. There's a deep resonance within you, like the hum of a frequency that aligns with something ancient, something beyond this life. What if this feeling is not just the anticipation of change, but the awakening of your soul's unique signature, the frequency that signals you are nearing the end of a cycle? Could it be that your soul carries a unique imprint, a signature, that identifies you not just in this life, but across all lifetimes? In spiritual traditions, the concept of the soul's signature is often spoken of as the unique essence or vibration of the individual, an energy field that is imprinted with the lessons and experiences of all the lifetimes a soul has lived. This signature is what connects your higher self to the physical world, a bridge that allows you to experience reality while still remaining tethered to the infinite. But what if, as you near the end of your current life cycle, this signature is becoming more distinct, more apparent, as if it's beginning to reveal the path your soul has been traveling all along? Could this heightened awareness of your soul's true frequency be the precursor to an awakening, a transcendence, or even a final release from the cycles of reincarnation? In quantum physics, everything is energy, vibrating at its own unique frequency. And if everything is interconnected, could it be that your soul's vibration is in harmony with the larger cosmic symphony? As your cycle draws to a close, perhaps your soul's signature begins to resonate at a frequency that aligns with a higher dimension of existence, a frequency that opens doors to a new level of awareness. This could explain why, in certain moments, you feel an almost magnetic pull toward a deeper truth, a knowledge that transcends the limitations of your physical body. Could it be that as you approach the end of this cycle, your soul's signature is preparing to resonate with the next stage of your journey? As you become more attuned to this signature, you may notice that you are drawn towards certain experiences, people, or places that feel deeply familiar, as though they are part of the very essence of who you are. These experiences are not random. They are the stepping stones that guide you toward the final recognition of your soul's purpose. But what happens when you begin to recognize this signature fully? When you understand that it is not just a mark of who you were, but who you are becoming? Could this recognition of your soul's signature be the key to unlocking the final phase of your journey, the moment when you step into your true self? However, with this awareness comes a deeper, more unsettling question. What happens when you realize that the signature you carry is tied not just to this life, but to a much larger cosmic purpose? What if recognizing your soul's true frequency means acknowledging the weight of your existence, the many lives you've lived, and the lessons you still need to learn? Could the moment of transcendence be one where you are asked to release this signature altogether, to shed the identity you've known and step into something even greater, something beyond the self? As you stand on the edge of this realization, the pull of your soul's signature becomes undeniable. It calls you to step beyond the boundaries of what you've known, into a new reality that only you can recognize. But the truth is this: what lies beyond this recognition? What happens when you finally align with your soul's true vibration, and when you transcend the limitations of your current form? The answers are waiting for you to uncover, but whether you are ready to accept them remains the greatest mystery. What if the end of your journey isn't an end at all, but a return to the void from which all life springs? Imagine a vast, empty space, not empty in the way we think of nothingness, but rich with potential and untapped possibilities. The void, a concept echoed across spiritual and philosophical traditions, is said to be the origin of all things, the place where creation begins and ends. As your soul nears the completion of this cycle, Could it be calling you back to this source, to the place where all things converge and dissolve? What if the final step is not an ascension, but a surrender, a return to the infinite where there is no past, no future, just pure potential? Quantum physics presents a reality that is often unfathomable to the human mind, a universe of energy, vibration, and infinite possibilities, all existing in a state of potentiality until observed. Could the void be a representation of this infinite field of potential where everything exists and nothing is fixed? If so, what would it mean for you as a soul to return to this state? Could it be that the pull toward the void is not an end, but a merging, a dissolution of the boundaries that have defined you as an individual soul across lifetimes? The very thought of dissolving into the void might stir up fear. But could that fear be the last thing standing between you and your ultimate transformation? The idea of facing the void is a terrifying one for many. A return to the unknown, to a place that cannot be comprehended by the rational mind. Yet, throughout spiritual history, the void has been described as the most sacred of spaces, the ultimate reunion with the infinite. When you are at the end of your cycle, could the void be calling you not to escape it, but to merge with it, to become one with the boundless, formless expanse that existed before time? This may not be a place of annihilation, but a place of pure existence, where your consciousness sheds the limitations of this world and becomes part of something far greater than you've ever known. As your soul nears this pivotal moment, you might begin to feel an inner shift, a gentle pull, like a magnet, drawing you toward the unknown. It's not a force of fear, but a force of release, beckoning you to let go of everything you've known, everything you've held on to in this lifetime. The ego will fight this pull, holding on to its identity, its attachments. But deep down, your soul knows that the only way forward is to surrender to the void. Could it be that the fear you feel in facing this unknown is simply a reflection of the final attachment to your human form? Is the true essence of your being ready to step beyond the limits of time and space? This moment of surrender may feel like the most profound step you could ever take, and yet in reality, it is not a step forward, it is a return to the very source from which you came. The void is not the absence of life, but the ultimate container for all of existence. In this vast emptiness, everything and nothing coexist, and it is here that your soul must ultimately reunite with the cosmic flow. But what will it mean for you to step into this unknown? Can you truly release everything you know and trust that in this vast, uncharted space, your soul will find its true home? And yet, as you stand at the threshold of the void, one question remains. Will you enter willingly, or will you resist the call, held back by the remnants of fear, ego, or the comfort of the known? The answer may come in a way you don't expect, for the void is not a place you enter, but a place you become. And once you do, everything you've ever known will be irrevocably changed. But what lies beyond this final step? Could it be a return to everything you've ever been, or the birth of something entirely new? The mystery calls you, and only your soul knows what awaits. Have you ever experienced the sensation that you've crossed into a different realm, even if only for a brief moment? Maybe it's in a dream or during a moment of intense clarity, where the physical world fades away and you feel as though you've stepped into a place where time doesn't exist. What if this feeling is more than a fleeting moment of mystical experience? What if it's a glimpse of a sacred portal, a threshold that connects this world to something greater, a passageway between realms, between the known and the unknown? Could it be that you are nearing the threshold of your soul's final transformation, and that this portal marks the boundary between this life and the next? In ancient spiritual teachings, the idea of crossing a threshold, of stepping through a portal, is often symbolic of a profound shift in consciousness. These portals are said to be sacred gates that open only when the soul is ready, allowing the individual to move beyond the limitations of the physical world and into a higher state of being. In many ways, these portals are not physical doors, but energetic shifts, moments when the soul reaches a point of no return, when it is ready to move beyond the cycle of birth and rebirth. But if you are standing at the edge of such a threshold, what lies on the other side? And are you truly ready to step through? In the realm of quantum mechanics, the idea of crossing from one state of being to another is not so far-fetched. Scientists speak of quantum leaps, where particles shift between states, defying the rules of classical physics. Could this concept apply to your own spiritual journey, where the act of crossing this threshold is not a linear progression, but a sudden, transformative leap into a new reality? If you are on the verge of such a shift, how can you prepare for the moment when the sacred portal opens? Will you resist out of fear or attachment, or will you step through, trusting that this passage is the culmination of your soul's journey? Perhaps, in your life, you've already experienced moments that felt like crossings, moments when something shifted within you, when a deep knowing emerged, or when a significant event catapulted you toward a new understanding of who you truly are. These moments may have felt like small openings, windows into a reality beyond the one you currently know. But what if these experiences were actually leading you to the most important crossing of all? Could it be that you're standing at the threshold now, in the final stages of your journey, with a sacred portal about to open that will usher you into a new state of being, one that transcends the boundaries of time, space, and ego? There's a pull, a quiet yet undeniable force guiding you toward this threshold. You might feel it in moments of deep reflection, or when you're on the verge of a breakthrough in your personal or spiritual growth. It's the feeling of approaching something larger than yourself, something that transcends your understanding of reality. But there's a lingering question. What will it be like on the other side of this portal? Will you encounter a higher version of yourself? Will you experience a return to the cosmic source, or will you emerge into a new realm where all previous lives and experiences merge into a unified whole? The mystery of the portal is compelling, but it remains elusive. You can sense it, but you cannot yet fully see it. And so, as you stand before this sacred portal, the most pressing question remains. Will you step through, trusting that the other side holds the answers to everything you've been searching for? Or will you hold back, afraid of what lies beyond the threshold, unsure of whether you are ready to face the truth of who you are and where you've come from? The answers will only reveal themselves once you take the leap. And as you move closer, the moment of transformation draws nearer. The portal is waiting, but what will you find when you cross it? Only time will tell, and only your soul knows the way. There comes a moment, often unrecognized, when everything in your life seems to pause. Time stretches, and the noise of the world fades into a distant hum, leaving you with a sense that something is shifting, something profound. Have you ever felt that awakening within you, that quiet stirring deep in your being, when it seems like the universe is trying to speak to you directly? What if this awakening is not just another shift in consciousness, but the final one, the ultimate realization of who you truly are? Could this be the last time your soul will awaken in this form? And if so, what does it mean for the rest of your journey? Throughout history, mystics, sages, and spiritual teachers have spoken of a final awakening, a moment when all illusions dissolve and the soul is freed from the cycle of birth and death. This awakening is said to be a realization of the oneness of all things, a profound connection to the divine, and a transcendence of the self. But what if this moment is closer than you think? As your soul nears the end of its current cycle, could you be on the brink of a final, earth-shattering awakening that will shift everything you know about your existence? What happens when you realize that this awakening isn't just a spiritual experience, but the key to transcending the very concept of self, releasing all attachments and limitations. Quantum physics offers a tantalizing idea that consciousness itself may exist beyond the physical realm, influencing the very fabric of reality. If consciousness is not confined to the brain, then could it be that the final awakening is the moment when your consciousness aligns fully with the infinite? When your soul recognizes its true nature, free from the constraints of time and space? Perhaps this awakening is the moment when the last remnants of separation dissolve, and you experience reality not as a singular individual, but as the vast, interconnected energy that you have always been. Could it be that in this final awakening, you will finally understand the true nature of your existence and step into a higher plane of consciousness where the limitations of physical life are but a distant memory? As you approach this awakening, you might begin to notice that your experiences are becoming more intense, more aligned. The synchronicities are stronger, the inner voice clearer, and the sense of interconnectedness with the world around you undeniable. The shifts in your consciousness may feel like you're stepping through a threshold, ready to experience something far greater than anything you've known. But what if this is the last time you will experience such an awakening? What if, once you pass through this final shift, there will be no need for further awakenings, because you will have reached the culmination of your soul's journey? The idea of a final awakening may seem daunting. After all, what happens when the cycle ends? What comes after that moment of total realization and release? Is it liberation, or is there something even greater waiting on the other side of this final awakening? The truth is that once you reach this stage, the boundaries between life and death, time and eternity begin to blur. You may find that there is no end at all, only a continuous unfolding of the self into a higher state of existence, where everything you have ever known is integrated into the vastness of the universe. But what does that mean for the future of your soul? Is this the end of one journey or the beginning of another? As you prepare for this final awakening, one thing is clear. You are standing on the precipice of something truly transformative. The questions that have lingered throughout your life, who you are, why you are here, and what your soul's purpose is, may finally be answered. But the real mystery remains. Once you have awakened fully, what will remain for you to discover? Could this awakening lead you to an even deeper truth, or is it the final revelation, the culmination of everything you've ever sought? The answers are waiting, but only your soul knows when the time will come to reveal them.